Do you ever feel like you're working your fingers to the bone every single month, only for your hard-earned money to vanish the moment your paycheck hits? You're not alone. But here is the brutal truth. The real problem isn't the size of your salary. The problem is that nobody ever taught you what to do with your money once it's inside your pocket. What if the ultimate solution to your modern financial struggles was mapped out, over 4,000 years ago, in the wealthiest city of the ancient world? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are breaking down the most read financial blueprint on the planet, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Through timeless, captivating parables, this classic delivers an undeniable truth. Building wealth is not a matter of luck. It is an exact science. Get comfortable. Over the next 15 minutes, we are going to dive into the story of Arkad, a simple scribe who became the wealthiest man in Babylon. We will extract his 7 cures for a lean purse and the 5 laws of gold, translating them directly onto your smartphone so you can finally make your money work for you. Let's get into it. The story of Arkad. Our story begins in the beating heart of Babylon. Bansir, a chariot builder, and his friend Kobi, a musician, are taking a break under the sun. They work tirelessly from dawn to dusk, yet their leather pouches are completely empty. They ask themselves the exact question you've probably asked yourself while staring at your banking app. Why do we work so hard, only to have nothing to show for it at the end? Refusing to accept this fate, they decide to visit their childhood friend, Arkad. Back in school, they were all equals. But today, Arkad is the richest man in Babylon. Even the king seeks his counsel. Bansir and Kobi ask him for his secret. Arkad reveals that he used to be just as broke as they are, until he met Algamish, a wealthy gold lender. Algamish shared a financial formula so simple, yet so disruptive. Listen closely, because this single sentence can change the trajectory of your life. A part of all you earn is yours to keep, and it must be taken out of your purse before anything else. Based on this law, Arkad was ordered by the king to teach the citizens how to cure their empty wallets. Let's look at the first 3 cures, and how they apply to you today. The 7 cures for a lean purse. Method 1. Start filling your purse. Arkad's first remedy is mathematical. If you put 10 coins in your purse in the morning, and only take 9 out in the evening for expenses, your purse will immediately start to swell. In other words, you must save at least 10% of everything you earn. In our modern world, we do the exact opposite. When our paycheck arrives, we pay the landlord, the internet bill, groceries, entertainment, and if there's anything left at the end of the month, we save it. Spoiler alert. There's never anything left. You pay everyone but yourself. It's the concept of paying yourself first. To implement Arkad's first method today, you must set up an automatic transfer to a savings or investment account. This transfer must be executed the day after your salary is deposited. If you earn $2,000, $200 must disappear instantly. You must learn to live on the remaining $1,800. This is non-negotiable. Method 2. Control your spending. Budget for your wants. Arkad's students immediately protested. But Arkad, our purses are already empty. We don't even have enough for daily living. How do you expect us to set aside 10%? Arkad's reply was sharp. Do not confuse your necessary expenses with your personal desires. Your spending will always rise to match your income unless you set a limit. Today, this is known as lifestyle creep. The more you earn, the more you spend on trivialities. Our 21st century trap lies in vampire subscriptions and micro-spending. Video streaming platforms, online music services, gym memberships you never use, and constant food deliveries. All of these bleed your account dry. To put Arkad's advice into practice, open a budgeting app or a simple Excel spreadsheet. List everything. Track down those useless subscriptions and cancel them. Set a strict limit for leisure spending. Your budget shouldn't be a prison, but a tool for freedom. Method 3. Make your gold grow. Once your purse starts filling up and your expenses are under control, your money accumulates. But Arkad warns us, gold coins sitting idle in a chest serve no purpose. Wealth is not measured by the money you have accumulated, but by the stream of income that money generates. Arkad uses a magnificent metaphor. He says that every saved coin is a servant. This servant must work for you and produce offspring. And those offspring must, in turn, work to produce more offspring. That is the classic definition of compound interest. If you leave your savings in a checking account or a standard low-interest savings account, inflation destroys your purchasing power. Your money slowly withers away. To make it grow, just as they did in Babylon, you need to invest it in a diversified way. The most accessible modern solution is ETFs, exchange-traded funds, particularly global ETFs like the MSCI World. Instead of risking all your capital on a single company, an ETF allows you to buy, with a single click, tiny shares in hundreds of the world's largest companies. Historically, the global stock market has grown by an average of about 7 to 8% per year over the long term. Thanks to this, your monetary servants work for you while you sleep. But be warned, putting your army of gold coins to work carries a huge risk. If you send it to the wrong place, you risk seeing it decimated. And that is exactly what we are going to look at next, with method number 4 and the fatal mistake made by Arkad's son. Having a purse that fills up and monetary servants working for you is a great start. But that's where the real danger begins. The more money you accumulate, the more of a target you become. For scammers, for your own emotions, and for inflation. Let's see how Arkad teaches us how to build an indestructible shield around our wealth using the last 4 methods. Method 4. Protect your treasure from loss. Arkad's 4th remedy is a lesson in financial survival. He tells us, the first sound investment is one that protects your initial capital. What's the point of seeking astronomical returns if you risk losing everything you've spent months saving? Arkad tells a great story here. One day, his friend, the brickmaker, decided to buy some rare jewels. But instead of asking a jeweler, he gave all his money to a passing traveler to bring him back diamonds from Phoenicia. The result? The traveler was swindled, he brought back worthless pieces of glass, and the brickmaker lost all his savings. Arkad's lesson is timeless. Never ask a baker for jewelry advice. The modern application, it's the absolute rejection of FOMO, the fear of missing out, and social media gurus. Don't put your life savings into a speculative cryptocurrency, a meme coin, or some obscure, decentralized finance project just because some TikTok or X influencer promises you a 100x return in 3 days. If you want to invest, do it after researching the subject yourself. And above all, seek advice from certified professionals, not strangers on the internet. Protecting your initial capital is always more important than chasing miracle returns. Method 5. Make your property a profitable investment. Arkad's 5th method touches on a universal topic, housing. In Babylon, Arkad encouraged every citizen to own their own home and land, rather than paying perpetual rent to demanding landlords. He explained that owning your roof brings pride, reduces the cost of living, and frees the mind to focus on other projects. This is the great contemporary debate between renting and buying your primary residence. Paying rent each month is mathematically a sunk cost. Of course, depending on interest rates and your location, purchasing a property isn't always immediately possible. But the principle remains the same. When you buy your primary residence with a controlled rate mortgage, each monthly payment you make to the bank isn't lost. A large portion of that money goes toward repaying the principal. The day the loan is paid off, or the day you sell, that money comes back to you. You transform a necessary expense into a tool for building your wealth. Method 6. Secure an income for the future. The 6th means anticipates what no one likes to think about: old age and life's hardships. Arkad tells us, it is incumbent upon every man to plan for a suitable income for the days to come, when he is no longer young, and to ensure that his family is protected should he pass away. In Babylon, people bought land or lent small sums to trusted lenders to accumulate interest over decades. The modern solution is individual retirement savings. Use tax-efficient investment vehicles such as a retirement savings plan, or a life insurance policy. By regularly contributing a small amount from a young age and letting global markets grow this money over the very long term, you build yourself an independent financial cushion. Time is your best ally. The earlier you start, the less monthly effort is required. Method 7. Increase your earning capacity. Finally, Arkad's seventh and final remedy is probably the most powerful of all, because it depends entirely on you. Arkad explains that wealth doesn't begin in your wallet, it begins in your mind. To earn more money, you must increase your capacity to learn. Arkad recounts how a young man came to him complaining about his salary. Arkad asked him, "What are you doing to be more efficient at your job?" The young man was just doing the bare minimum. Arkad then advised him to become the best craftsman in his guild, to learn from the elders, to perfect his skills. As his value increased, his salary naturally followed. In our time, the world is changing at breakneck speed. With the rise of artificial intelligence and automation, today's skills may be obsolete tomorrow. Investing in yourself is called upskilling. Read books, take online courses, learn to master new technological tools, or develop a complementary skill, a side hustle. Whether it's video editing, copywriting, project management, or coding, each new skill you master increases your value in the job market or allows you to create a second source of income. You are your own most profitable investment. 100% guaranteed return, with no market risk. So, those are Arkad's 7 cures for a lean purse. But Arkad didn't stop there. To prove to the city that these principles were universal laws, he put his own son, Nomaser, to the ultimate test. He sent him out into the world with a bag of gold and a mysterious inscribed clay tablet. And that is exactly what we're about to discover in the third part of our summary, the 5 laws of gold. To truly grasp the power of what follows, I need to tell you a story. To test his own son, Nomaser, and see if he was worthy of inheriting his fortune, Arkad banished him from the family home for 10 years. He gave him 2 things, a bag of gold and a clay tablet inscribed with the 5 laws of gold. Unsurprisingly, young Nomaser did exactly what most beginners do today. He ignored the tablet of wisdom. He wanted quick results. He invested all his gold in bets on rigged chariot races and in businesses he didn't understand. Within a few months, he had lost everything. He found himself destitute, starving, and forced to beg. It was at rock bottom that he finally wiped the dust off his father's clay tablet. He read the 5 laws of gold, applied them, and 10 years later, he returned to his father with not just 1, but 3 bags of gold. Let's look at these 5 sacred laws of gold together, and see how they explain the success, or ruin, of today's investors. The first law, the money magnet. The first law of gold states, gold comes willingly and in ever-increasing quantities to the person who sets aside at least 1/10 of their earnings to build wealth for their future and that of their family. This is the law of financial attraction. When you start automatically saving your first 10%, a very powerful psychological phenomenon occurs. You begin to see opportunities where you previously saw only problems. Having money set aside creates a peace of mind that allows you to make better decisions. Money attracts money. The more your capital grows, the more motivated you are to see it grow. The second law, the tireless worker. The second law states, gold works diligently and profitably for the wise owner who finds it a profitable use, multiplying like herds in the fields. Money should never sleep. If you leave your gold in a checking account, it will be eaten away by inflation. On the other hand, if you invest that money in a diversified global ETF or in rental properties, that money works for you 24/7. It generates dividends or rents that are automatically reinvested. That's the principle of compound interest. Your money grows, which in turn grows even more. The third law, the shield of wisdom. The third law states, gold clings to the protection of the prudent owner who invests it according to the advice of wise men regarding its management. Do not entrust your money to just anyone. If you want to invest in the stock market, read books by recognized experts, like Warren Buffett or Jack Bogle, or consult a certified wealth manager. Do not blindly follow the advice of total strangers on forums or social media. Prudence always pays off better in the long run than reckless boldness. The fourth law, the trap of the unknown. The fourth law states, Gold slips away from the man who invests it in ventures or goals with which he is unfamiliar, or which are not approved by those who are knowledgeable in the field. This is the golden rule for any good investor. Never invest in something you do not understand. If a friend suggests you invest in a revolutionary biotech company or a complex decentralized finance protocol on the blockchain, and you are unable to explain how the business works to a 10-year-old, don't touch it. Your lack of knowledge will make you the ideal victim. The fifth law, flight from miracles. Finally, the fifth law states, gold flees from the man who forces it to make impossible gains, or who follows the seductive advice of fraudsters and swindlers, or who relies on his own inexperience and romantic investment desires. This is the absolute scourge of our time. Disguised Ponzi schemes, automated trading robots promising 10% guaranteed monthly returns, or miracle courses to become a millionaire in 2 weeks from your beach. The fifth law of Babylon is implacable. If a return seems too good to be true, it probably is. Risk and return are two sides of the same coin. If you are promised a huge gain with no risk, you are being scammed. Gold flees from the impatient. Nomasser learned the lesson. By following these 5 laws, he turned his mistakes into a massive fortune. These clay tablets have spanned millennia to land right here on our smartphone screens. There is just one thing left for us to do. Put all the pieces of the puzzle together and take action. Let's look at the conclusion right now. Summarizing the lessons, here we are. We've just journeyed through 4,000 years of economic history in a matter of minutes. Arkad's 7 cures and the 5 laws of gold aren't just dusty old fables from a book written in 1926. They are the fundamental pillars of financial freedom, and they are more relevant than ever. Whether you're handling bronze coins in Babylon or euros on a neobank app, the rules of the game remain the same. 1. You must pay yourself first by automating the savings of your initial 10%. 2. You must tame your lifestyle and wage war on ghost subscriptions. 3. You must put your servants to work by investing in a diversified way, for example, in global ETFs. 4. And finally, you must shun greed and the FOMO surrounding miracle gains, which always lead to ruin. Call to action for the audience. Wealth is not an accident. It's the result of a series of small, daily decisions. Knowing all this is absolutely useless if you close this video and go back to scrolling through social media. The secret of the richest people in history is taking immediate action. So, I ask you, what's the very first rule you're going to implement today? Are you going to set up that automatic 10% transfer for next month, or are you finally going to open your accounts and cancel those apps you no longer use? If this trip down memory lane has helped you gain clarity on your modern finances, let me know. Give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming summaries of business and financial independence books. Apply these principles, take care of your money, and most importantly, make it work for you. It was a pleasure. See you very soon for the next analysis. Take care, and see you soon.